spot. What do we got? That'll do. That'll do. It's good. Good. What's up, guys? Are you hands gonna start being a nuisance? A nuisance? Haha, jeez. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Sorry for my absence. Unfortunately, we weren't working on anything today. Just wanted to give you just kind of an update. And also, despite the fact that I haven't had the time to make any videos since getting the dually back on the road, the channel has continued to grow, which is fantastic. So if you're new here, what's up? Thank you. Sorry, I am super slacking on the videos. At some point in time, I'll get back to it. At this point in time, I'm basically working like 2 full-time jobs, like 40, 50 plus hours at one job, and then normally knocking out like another 30 hours. Just kind of side hustling, trying to recover from, the truck being down, and then spending the money to fix the truck. And since I've had to change the oil, get tires on it, blah, 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 blah. But speaking of finances, I have to give a huge shout out because first and foremost, this is a super, super small channel, so I'm appreciative of anybody who helps me out, even the tiniest little bit. It's so appreciated. But again, with the channel being small and not where I would like it to be, I'm constantly in my own head about no longer doing the channel and then just continuing to just do me out here. I spend hours and hours and hours filming and editing videos and stuff, and sometimes it just doesn't feel worth it. So with that being said, I have to give a huge shout out to the Diesel dudes because they completely re-sparked my interest and passion for the channel. Despite the fact that the video of doing the delete on my Cummins didn't really get that many views, they watched the video and they refunded me 100% of my order, and it was like $1,200. And dude, not only was I in a tight spot to where I needed that money, it just really, really sparked my interest to get back at it. So huge shout out to those dudes. Go check out their website. If you got a Diesel and you're trying to delete it, they're the way to go. If anything, get yourself like a little sticker pack or a hat. It was a kickback of bonus points. I got this little hat, dude, and this leather patch is super dope. And this hat pretty much never leaves my head anymore. It's high quality. I love it. But go check them out if you would. Get a little sticker pack or something. Tell them Eppy sent you. But I guess we'll get to what's potentially coming in the future, because I've since pushed Sandy off to the side, and she's really just been sitting here, and unfortunately probably going to continue to sit here a little bit longer. Reason being is one of my main purchases next needs to be my transmission. I have decided that I've gone back and forth. I'll get a T5, beef it up a little bit, and blah 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 blah. But those transmissions either seem to be like really good or blow up. And I would rather just cry once, get the TKX. Those things are good for 700 plus horsepower, which she will never come anywhere near, nor will it ever have tires that are going to get enough traction that I feel like I should ever hurt that transmission. But until I have the transmission and I can set the engine where it needs to be, unfortunately cut a hole in the floorboard. It's kind of got me pumping the brakes on a lot of things. So I can't do my motor mounts. I can't build my fender rail exit header as I want to do. I can't totally lock in my my Z-bar, which upon doing some research, I did find out that you can run a TKX with the factory bell housing. I think you just need an adapter. And then otherwise, I should be able to keep my Z-bar and everything. So that made me super, super happy. But there are a lot of other things that I will eventually start knocking out. I do have some giant sheets of cardboard so I can blow this thing all back apart and start making stencils to box in my frame. Because if you are new to the channel, Sandy is on a Crown Vic swap with a 2.5-inch frame Z that I don't totally have done. I just kind of have the truck mocked up so I can roll it around, and I wanted to see how it looked. And you can see even sitting on rollers, and she is not all the way down in the back. She low, but she'll end up getting bagged. We got to get the bags, the brackets, box the frame, run new fuel lines, run new brake lines. You know, the Crown Vic needs some maintenance parts, and you know, there's 1,000 things that go along with it. Finish shaving the firewall, and then blah blah blah. 4-link. We're gonna redo the bed floor. All of the everythings. But if you were new here and don't know much about Sandy, there are, 200 plus videos of this truck from basically when I first got it and just basically did a tune-up, had some glass pucks put on it, put some fake white walls on it, and just, it was basically my daily driver at that point. And then later, I pulled the engine out of it thinking I was just going to regasket it because she was kind of leaky and tired. Just going to ring and bearing it, regasket it, throw it back together, and that blew up into DJM. And shout out to them because I only had I had very few subs at that point. And DJM hooked me up with the drop beams, the shackles, the hangers, the shocks, everything for this truck. And that really had this truck, it just took it to a whole new level that I didn't intend on at that point. And also, my cousin hooks me up with a Donor Marine 302 that we slapped a cam in, some headers, the dual plane intake manifold, and I just relentlessly beat the crap out of this truck and broke stuff until the engine finally blew a head gasket and it had a crack in one of the cylinder walls. And then here she is, you know, redoing the frame notch, Crown Vic swapped, you know, and we went pretty big on the frame notch. But, you know, just go back and check out all these videos. There are, I dare say there is nothing that I have done to this truck that isn't recorded on my channel. Anything from the side exit exhaust, installing the DJM stuff, full teardowns, engine removal, the cam install, the cam break-in for the boat motor, regasketing the transmission, the Hurst shifter, doing the dashboard that was all completely cracked up, and we just sanded it down, fiberglassed it, and just threw the Mexican blanket on it, redoing the floorboards, cutting the nasty what was left of the bed out of it, and making a half-ass bed floor. Both of these bikes have, I think this actually has a 2-part episode. This bike came out of a dumpster and was literally seized in place, like most of it didn't move. There's a full 2-part video on this. This bike has a complete episode of its own. Next is probably actually finishing up the mini bike, if I'm being honest. I think I've done like 3 videos on the mini bike. We have lightning videos on top of, you know, I had the 57 wheelies, the 64 Conline, the 62 Ranchero, the 64 Galaxy, the 70 Monterey. There's videos of all that stuff. And I just realized I have a fingerprint on my screen. Are we blurry? We're not blurry, but we're going to clean it anyways. Maybe that's more good. I don't know. But if you would, just go back and check out all that stuff. And I just appreciate you. Ooh, I do have something. I did make it to the machine shop. I have not been totally useless. I have not. So, these are Sandy's stock rods on, what are these? Speed Pro? I don't even remember anymore. Speed Pro, Hyper-Eutectic flat top pistons. 40 over. I do have, I think they're Mal or Cleveite bearings to throw in here. So 40 over flat tops, stock rods, reconditioned with ARP bolts, and then rehoned to fit properly again. So I did manage to pick those up. So we are slowly acquiring engine stuff. And speaking of the engine, another coming up soon episode. I'm probably going to tear off these heads. These are the Flowtech 185cc 58cc combustion chamber heads. Decent, cheap, bang for your buck heads, but I have heard stories of the ports on these are actually a little bit smaller than most aftermarket intake manifolds. So I'm going to port match these heads, and there is an aggressive, sharp turn, particularly on the exhaust side, that I want to clean up a little bit. So we're going to do like a real quick garage port and try to not get carried away on them. I just want to port match and basically smooth out those exhaust ports, and then I think I will be happy. As far as the engine, I basically just need my cam kit and I can put this bottom end together. I am going to drop the block back off because I am suspicious of the previous machine shop's quality. So I'm going to drop that back off and at least have the machine shop I've been going to check the bore, check the crank, make sure everything is for sure good to go. Another thing on the list is the Trailblazer SS. Pete has his other 6.2 LS at a performance shop, getting a cam put in it. After that's all good to go, that's going to be back here, so we'll be back working on the Trailblazer SS. My buddy Nebel, and this is his Cadillac. I've been LS swapping for him. I think he's got the water pump, and we're literally just missing, I don't even know if I can get over there or not, literally just missing one fuel line fitting, and we can run this whole fuel system. In fact, I've started working on something. He's got these snazzy adapters that let you run basically all of your OEM style stuff and then adapt to basically like an AN fittings and lines, which is super dope. I do have the high flow fuel pump adapted to the factory sending unit. So yeah, I'm literally, oh shit. I am one fitting away from having everything I need to run the whole fuel system. And we are basically finishing up the wiring harness. The engine has to come back out to do, cause the torque converter isn't even in it. So we gotta do torque converter, flywheel, actually bolt everything full in. But I mean, this thing is really only maybe a couple weekends away from firing up for the first time, which is pretty exciting. I think that might be all I have for you guys. Like I said, I just felt bad. It's been like a month, I think, since I checked in with you guys, and the channel has kind of continued to grow despite the fact I've not put out any videos. And again, thank you if you're new here, thank you. But yeah, guys, much more to come. Just been crazy busy, but I'm hoping next year I'll have Sandy done. Definitely not going to be a this year thing. There's just too much going on. And you know, that transmission alone is going to cost me 3 times more than I originally bought the truck for. Hell, the front wheels and tires, I have more in those alone than I have in the original purchase of the truck. So at this point in time, I've got like a $1,000 truck with like $1,200 heads, $1,200 front wheels and tires. Going to have like a $3,000 transmission in it. You know, what, and probably another $1,000, maybe $2,000 in performance parts going into the original engine. I mean, I'm going to have, what, at the end of the day, 10 grand probably in a $1,000 truck that's ratty, which is the way it's staying. But again, thank you. If I had the time to be out here, I would. I am refueled up because of the diesel dudes helping me out and refunding me that, which I can't explain to you how much I needed that. So yeah, given the opportunity and some free time, we will be back out here. The Lightning obviously needs shit tons of work done to it yet, but that's about it, guys. And if I'm being honest, the mini bike is probably going to be one of the next episodes, doing like a finale. We need tires, a seat, and a fuel tank, and basically just tie everything in, and that thing's good to go. In fact, if you watch the diesel video of me deleting my Cummins, I mean, I ride it without brakes and stuff on it anyway. So, but sorry, I had to skedaddle real quick. My pit bull was being a butthole. Surprise. But yeah, I know I've said thank you 1,000 times, and I genuinely mean it, guys. I can't tell you with who I am as a person, I debate on pulling the plug on this channel every video I put out. So for all of you long haulers, all of you new guys, thank you so much for hanging out. From the bottom of my heart, I genuinely appreciate each and every single one of you. And I'm given the opportunity. We are creeping up on 2,000 subs. At 2,000, I would like to do some sort of giveaway. I don't know how I want to approach it or what I want to do yet, but that is the plan at 2,000, to do a giveaway. Let me know what you guys think might be cool, and maybe we'll go with that. I don't know. I super don't know. Another oddball project, I guess, is my 260. My 260 Windsor V8 sitting over here for a super future project, but I do have it. I think I may even have my eye on a 4-speed for it. It would be a specific 4-speed for that particular engine. But yeah, enough rambling. I'm sorry we're not doing anything. I just wanted to stop in and thank you guys and give you the Pistons were really the only update that I had. So sorry, but that's it for the 5,000th time. Thank you guys. I love you guys. You're the best. I'm out.